Is it recording? Okay, now it's recording. And what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the YouTube page. I am Director Z, aka Luis Zapatero, and I'm gonna be looking at my letterboxd. It's Luzawd, like Luzod, but instead of OD, it's ZAWD. And yeah, soy Luis, no milk, cinematic, chaotic, neutral, fan of horror, action, adventure, sci-fi, and animation. I'm actually kind of a fan of all genres. I don't really discriminate or do any of that. But today we're going to be talking about my Black Mirror reviews, and we'll see what else we can get into. But first and foremost, Black Mirror, and then maybe we'll get into a few movies. First and foremost, I'm going to get the low rates out already. So we got 6 episodes in total, and I was like, wait, six? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 6. And 3 of them epic, crazy, sci-fi, all kinds of stuff. But the other 3, they're okay. I mostly gave like 3.5 and like 4 stars to the ones that were like really, really like, oh my god, like they're really thought provoking. The other ones were like really just heart wrenching dramas and like, of course, our too dependent ways on technology, and they kind of got low scores in my opinion. Like they were acted very well, and they're not like bad, but I prefer the Black Mirror episodes that are a little more and a little more over the top than just the romantic dramas that are meant to just like make you cry. So let's get the first one out of the way. This one stars Emma Corrin, Issa Rae, and unfortunately also Aquafina. But oh wait, this is not the page I was looking for. I'm looking for my review. Where's my review? Okay, let's go to the diary. That's probably better anyway. Reverie. So this one is basically AI and movie remake kind of, you know, talking about it, like saying if it's wrong and like the ethical dilemma of it. Emma Corrin is actually a dead actress from a classic like 40s, 30s, like black and white classic romantic movie, and they're remaking it, but instead of a guy, the love interest is Issa Rae. It's a gender swap thing. It's also a callback to San Junipero. I don't know if this is like a sequel or if it just exists in that same universe, but it's okay. The reason it didn't really like strike me is because I'm knowingly the audience and knowing that Emma Corrin is simply an AI projection for the remake and that she's a dead actress and that this is to ask the question of does a person acting in something like this where it's so submersive and you're like walking into another dimension where the movie feels real, can someone fall for an AI program that's almost exactly human that you can't really discern like that, like the other Black Mirror with a Wyatt Russell playtest or Bandersnatch. It's really hard to discern reality from what's actually happening, or the mind projection or AI, whatever technology Black Mirror is doing. So for this, it was really hard for me to like be Issa Rae's like sympathy and empathy because I know it's a program and I know she's dead, and so it's like really wrong of her to actually fall for it. But I understand what it was going for. It still gets a 2 out of 5, mostly because it wasn't my cup of tea. That's all. That's literally all. And also Aquafina. I love Issa Rae and I love Emma Corrin. I think that they are the saving graces. But everything else about the remakes and everything else with the studio stuff and the Aquafina stuff just fell flat for me. So this was not my favorite. All right, let's go back. Why is it taking so long? Okay, the Paul Giamatti one called Eulogy, where you can step into the photographs like memories, like you can step into it and just walk through and kind of tell your story. Only someone like Giamatti can have so much charisma and be so compelling throughout the entire episode. If it was anyone else, I wouldn't have really gave a damn. I would have been like, can we speed this up? So this guy's 4 stars. It's just basically on Giamatti and basically that this is the heartbreaking one that actually like it broke me. Like it's about lost love and it's about reflecting on what you could have done better. And I don't think anyone else, as men just in general can relate to something like that. There is such thing as the saying, "It's better to have loved and lost than not loved at all." And sometimes, yeah, memories are very very painful, and that's why it gets a 4 out of 4. This could have been like a one-man stage play with Giamatti, and it would have been excellent. All right, the next heartbreaking one is Common People. Rashida Jones does a good job. I forget the actor's name that of the husband, but this one also broke me. Like I was like, can we stop with these, please? It hurts. But this one also kind of has like a little dark comedy thing with like subscription services, and yeah, Netflix is making a meta joke about itself. Ha ha ha. You know, the Plux and the Lux fucking subscriptions. It's like, oh well, you have the standard now, so now you have to get upgraded in order to remove this. And they start putting fucking ads in Rashida Jones's head, and she starts like fucking Truman showing when they're doing commercials in the movies. And even Truman, fucking Jim Carrey's character, is like, "Who are you talking to? What are you even doing?" She's like selling products. And it's also cool that there was like an ADI, the robot bees from The Most Hated in the Nation. There was a callback to that. I was like, oh, I like that they were explaining that. So it takes place in the same universe. Still only gets a 2.5 for me because if you remember the ending, it's really, really dark. And I was like, I don't, it's good, but it's not like it's like Joan is awful with the whole meta Netflix like increasing their subscription joke. Like it's like we get it, but how about not doing it and just making a joke about it on the show? It's like no, they're actually doing it. Like okay, now Bete Noire. This one, holy fucking shit! It's literally the definition of gaslighting. This white woman and this this character at a I think it's like a food test review place or something where they experiment with new foods and like new concoctions. But if something like this happened to me, where everything that I was knowing or doing or had knowledge of was just changed or saying like, "Oh no, that didn't happen," I would have to fight somebody. I'm sorry, I'm gonna. But this one is also one of the best ones, and it gets 3.5 for me. And like that little orange light heart or whatever, I loved it a lot, especially the ending, the execution. Everything was Twilight Zone, Black Mirror, everything I love about a series like this. And it was so cathartic. The ending, if you haven't seen it, please go watch it yourself. It's so good. I loved it so good. It was so like yes, yes, like right at the end. I was like, finally, I was like, I thought this was gonna have one of those dark endings, but this was a good one. And like, there's this little fucking device that this girl presses, and it's like a multiverse fucking like. You need to watch it. You just need to watch this. All right, the next one is also a personal favorite of mine, and it got 4 stars. Maybe a little biased, but it's the sequel to the Star Trek parody one called the USS Callister, and this one is called Into Infinity. This one had a lot of really cool sci-fi visuals and like the epic scale of like being in an online multiplayer online game. And they were showing the guns and they were showing people in different costumes and they were flying in ships, and it was so cool. Jimmy Simpson, I was not expecting from he's Liam McBoyle from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I was not expecting him to do such a great like piece of shit asshole performance. I was so happy Jesse Plemons came back. I was like, how are they gonna, because the last one, how are they gonna bring his character back? And they did. They found a way to incorporate it. And then of course we all know Kristen Milioti deserves her flowers, especially after Penguin. But the fact that she came back for this shows that this was really a passion project for her. That she loved the first one, and that now that she's captain, she was an excellent lead. But yeah, Jimmy Simpson had some excellent range. I loved seeing Jesse Plemons come back, but Christine Milioni should get all the flowers for this. And that ending, wow, what an incredible twist! And like, I was just like, holy shit, scorched earth, motherfucker. But this one is still my second favorite. And you're probably like, what? But you seem like you really liked it. Yeah. But this one, I had no idea it was going to be connected to Bandersnatch and was going to be so good. Plaything. This one starred Peter Capaldi as a 40 or 50-year-old guy who had committed a crime in like the 90s and was also working for one of those like video game review places, but you have no idea how it unfolds and turns into like a true crime documentary that's like unfolding in real time. And then it's also Code Lyoko kind of Digimon, like digital sentient life that can actually grow and add more data in order to become smarter and better. Like insanity. It's fucking awesome. And then I just ended it with a Throng is all. The Throng will be our future. The Throng will become one with all of us. And that's the Throng. The Thronglets is actually a real game that Netflix developed. But yeah, it's a straight up sci fi acid trip, murder, madness, digital horror. And it's one of the best ones I've seen in a long time. And yeah, if you haven't seen Bandersnatch, it's like an interactive Black Mirror movie where you can make different choices and there's like a whole bunch of different endings and scenarios. And if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But this one right here, 4 star and Orange Heart. This is one of my favorite fucking ones. Peter Capaldi absolutely knocked it out of the park. And yeah, the sentient digital life thing just fucking made me think Digimon, Digital because that's kind of like what it is. Like the guy was adding more like game systems and computers and chips to it so that it grew and that it was becoming more and he couldn't stop it. So anyways, that's my Black Mirror review, bro. Later.